What's up guys? So I thought I'd make this video to show you all my camera settings, since what your settings are on your camera determines whether you bring good footage or you bring bad footage into post-production, which makes life easier or harder. So before we get started, I just want to say that this is a Canon T4i and I use it full manual ever since I bought it a few years ago. It's been on full manual like 98% of the time. Let's just turn the camera on. Let's start with the settings right here, just these regular camera settings. My shutter speed is 1/125th of a second, and this is the thing. Yes, I know you gotta double your frame rate rule, but this is the thing with me. I can't really go down all the way to 60 or else the video, it looks very overexposed. Even at the ISO 100, at the lowest ISO, I can't seem to get a good picture. Like, I still gotta bump up the shutter speed. So I mean, yeah, it affects the motion a bit, but obviously it's nothing too crazy. If you see my videos, it's nothing like you know, if I move the camera or if I do like some crazy handshakes, it won't be like so unnatural looking, you know. So it's not bad at all. My f-stop is basically completely wide open. I could shoot at 1.8, but then again, the video was just a little bit overexposed, so I just had to bump it up just to 2.0, but that's perfectly fine. And my ISO, of course, is 100, the absolute lowest I can put it, 100. And it's still a little too bright sometimes. Let's move on to the picture style, is what I've had a lot of trouble with. I used to have a picture style downloaded from the internet. It's called CineStyle. Basically, the whole point of that picture style is for you to be able to shoot flat, just like straight from the camera. So that was pretty fun and it was pretty interesting to color grade and everything, but it just took way too much time and it's not like worth it. So now I just use just a simple picture style and I don't really have to do any work in post-production. I'll get to that in a bit, but my sharpness is all the way down except just one stop up. And then my contrast, that's all the way down. Because if you have your contrast all the way up here or like up here, good luck. Best of luck editing your blacks and everything else. That's hard. Because the contrast is way too overpowering. It's crazy. Saturation, I just have it 2 stops down. Not too bad. Color tone, it's exactly the same. That's what I use. Neutral. It's perfect. It's awesome. And really, all I have to do in post-production with this picture style now is, it's just the typical work, you know, color correction, and then after that, I would just edit, you know, the colors a bit. Now, I wouldn't really mess with the saturation, just the colors. So with this sweater, you know, it's pretty blue on camera. But if I were to shoot it on this camera, it would come out just like a little bit faded, and then I could just adjust like every color one by one. And I could just up it up a bit. Boom, it's gonna look nice and blue. I could do that reds, greens, whatever, everything. It's pretty sweet. So that's that. For autofocusing, I have it just on tracking, or as everybody calls it, autofocus. Since manual focus, it's a complete pain to do. You try and do it. Look at this little 3-inch screen from like 5 feet away and try to focus yourself. It's not too easy. I don't have no 50-inch display that I can put right beside me to monitor myself, so I have to use that. But thank goodness I use the 50mm 1.8 STM lens, since I used to use this guy, the 18 to 55mm non-STM, and man, it was a pain. The autofocus, it would like focus every 5 seconds. Let's go to video mode, and then let's go to menu, and let's go to tab 4. Make sure this is on 1080p, or if you want to do a 60 FPS, then just go to 1280. Or if you have a newer camera, then just go with whatever's the highest if you want. Most people usually stick with 1080 24 FPS or 1080 30 FPS. I usually just stick with 30 FPS. You'll really never see me doing 24 FPS. Sometimes I'll do 60, but that's only if I'm using a device that supports 60 FPS, which is my iPhone right here that I'm recording with. So that's unique, but you know, 30 FPS is pretty much standard. Okay, so for white balance, I usually just stick to auto white balance. I used to do custom white balance, but sometimes that's a waste of time. And I've noticed whenever I do custom white balance, my videos sometimes they come out way too warm, even though I'm doing everything right. It's kind of strange. So I usually just stick to auto because auto just does a good job, especially in the room that I'm in like right now. It's pretty much full with 5,000 Kelvin lighting, or in simplest terms, white lights. So that's why in my videos, when I do the cuts, you might see the color change from a warmer temperature to a cooler temperature. So that's pretty much all for today's video, but before I go, I want to show you something. I actually have Magic Lantern installed right now, and I've been having it for quite some time. You know, I press this garbage can icon, boom, welcome to Magic Lantern. Okay, yeah, all these nice settings. These are really useful settings, especially if you're making like a short film, or you know, you're just doing general video work or whatever. As long as you understand what all this means, or at least a majority of it, then it's very useful. I'd recommend giving this a shot. Magic Lantern, you could pretty much download it for any Canon camera. It's pretty much like jailbreaking, and it gives you like a completely different look. It's pretty cool, and it'll tell you like what's overexposed, what's underexposed, and it just gives you a lot of settings. And yeah, that's that. So thank you for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. You know, if you got a camera like this, DSLR, I'd recommend trying some new settings, messing around with everything just to make sure you get the best quality ever.